here's a really heartbreaking and crazy story that I had to absolutely talk about. Here's what this headline reads: the school superintendent charged with fraud for using own insurance to help ill student. This article says an Indiana school superintendent faces several charges after police say she sought medical treatment for a student using her son's name. Quote, "I know this action was wrong. In the moment, my only concern was for this child's health," Smitherman said in a statement. Charges against Casey Smitherman include official misconduct, insurance fraud, insurance application fraud, and identity deception. According to court documents, a 15-year-old student didn't come to school January 9th because he had a sore throat. Smitherman picked him up and took him to the medical check in Elwood so a doctor could examine him. However, she allegedly signed the student in under her son's name and also had a prescription for amoxicillin filed at CVS under her son's name. The teen tore the name off the bottle's label because he, quote, knew it was wrong, and to have a prescription in his possession with a different name is bad, court documents said. Police received a tip about the situation and followed up with the teen's guardian on January 16th. A day later, Smitherman talked to Elwood police about the situation. During her statement, she told police she realized the student wasn't at school on January 9th and was worried about him. In the past, she's bought clothes for him and helped clean his house, according to court documents. She said she didn't contact the Department of Child Services because she feared the teen will be placed in foster care, the documents say. She admitted taking him to the med check and signing him in under his son's name. So I guess he didn't have insurance. So she basically filed him in under her son's name. And this is a really heartbreaking story because obviously it's like, this should not be a possibility. There shouldn't be a situation in which a child doesn't, or anybody for that matter, doesn't have medical insurance. Every single person in the United States should have insurance because healthcare is a life and death situation, and it doesn't make sense to involve a profit motive in healthcare because, or at the very least, having a baseline. Like even having private insurance is one thing, but to not have a system where everyone is insured and then there's an option to go private is utterly ridiculous, and it's absolutely insane. So, under a system with Medicare for all, this is something that doesn't happen, and the fact that in the United States of America there's a superintendent who is actually, really like going out of her way to care for a kid who is in need. The article says that she had previously bought him clothes and helped him out with other things as well. And so she said that she had seen that he had symptoms of strep throat. So basically signs of strep throat. I've actually had strep throat before a long time ago when I was a kid. So, and she said that it could get bad if you don't have it checked very fast. And it's ridiculous. I mean, this is the nation that we're living in. And it's remarkable to me that this is even a situation that's possible in our country, especially considering that this is not a thing in all other modern industrialized nations. There's not another modern industrialized nation where everyone doesn't have, everyone has insurance. Every single one of them has a system where everyone's insured. Now, in the United States, of course, we have millions of people, and that is largely because of corporate interests that prevent our government from actually functioning as a democracy and rather being effectively an oligarchy where basically they get money from rich people and then they represent them. So we're basically an oligarchy at this point. But this is a really honestly heartbreaking situation, and I absolutely can't believe that this is an actual thing going on in the United States. I think that for anybody politically speaking, you should see this kind of a story and go, that's what I want to care about politically speaking. That's what I want to do. I want to advocate for positions that would make it so that this child who had to be filed under the name of the superintendent's son instead of his own doesn't exist. That's what you should really be if you're talking about politics, period. That's what I think anyway.